Bitcoin is a cryptocurrency, and it works like through a network of computers. So it's not a company. It's not a thing where you can hack it. Like, oh, I hacked Bitcoin, and now I stole everybody's Bitcoins. It's not like PayPal, where it just helps you send money. The idea is that it's this creation of money that doesn't require banks or the government. So all these bodies that have existed for years being middlemen with our money. By the way, I see you, Andy. One problem, you're still in the frame. I don't need sarcasm. Sarcasm doesn't help any of us, okay? I need seriousness. Seriousness. I see Gavin. He says, I bought 5 Bitcoins 7 years ago for $200. But he bought weed and heroin with it on the dark web. See? What was more? You thought that doing heroin was as harmful as it got. Spending all that Bitcoin was even more harmful because now Bitcoin is worth a ton of money. So they create this cryptocurrency because they want it to be anonymous. They're tired. People, the cyberpunks, whatever they're called, are sick of the government and are sick of banks and all these businesses infringing on us. And Bitcoin really started to take off. It had been around for a while, but it really started to take off like in the late first decade of the 2000s, like around 2008, 2009, I think, when the economy started to shift down, when Wall Street started taking a plunge. Remember when all the banks started to fail and everything? And people, Americans, were panicking, going, if our systems of money are going away, if our systems of money are failing us, well, then what the hell is going to happen? If our systems that we've put in charge of maintaining our cash and setting the value of money and holding it for us and doing all this, if the places where we go for loans are screwing money up so bad that cash is becoming less valuable, what the hell are we going to do? And what happens if it gets worse? That's when they go, okay, there has to be a way to do this without other people getting involved. It's a very libertarian principle, Bitcoin. To just be like, look, it's all on a ledger. Every activity, there's a finite number of Bitcoins, okay? The people who invented Bitcoin, they created this system where at the end of the day, there's going to be 21 million Bitcoins. That's it. So there is a finite, the same way there's a finite number of gold in the world, and that's what makes it valuable. There's a finite number of Bitcoins. Again, I'm giving you a very basic understanding of this stuff based on like 4 Netflix documentaries, 3 articles, and some tweets. But those 21 million Bitcoins don't all come to fruition for another 100 years, right? So they're not in circulation just yet. They will be, and they're slowly being released. That's why people mine for Bitcoins. The people who maintain these ledgers that are the history of each Bitcoin in existence, right? So we know that it's not just this made-up sort of number. There's a tangibility, even though we can't touch it because it's digital, there's a tangibility to it because each Bitcoin has a code that's represented in this ledger, so you know the activity of every single fraction of a Bitcoin that's ever been spent. So, and the people who maintain these ledgers are the people who are mining for Bitcoins, who are spending all this money on computing, hoping that they find Bitcoins as they're released into the marketplace because they're worth a lot of money now. You can obviously, it got very popular because you can buy drugs and things with them on the dark web. Because Bitcoin, while each Bitcoin is specifically looked at, and each Bitcoin is ledgered, the activities of these things are recorded. The names of the people using them, the information behind the wallets that the Bitcoins are stored in are not. That's totally anonymous and untraceable. So the activity of the wallet itself, that is what's recorded. The owner of the wallet is totally untraceable. So originally people loved it because you could buy drugs and prostitutes with Bitcoins and nobody would ever know. There's all kinds of great stories, by the way, because Bitcoin first comes out and it's like 0.07 seventh of a cent is what a Bitcoin was worth. So there's a guy who bought like 4 pizzas for 10,000 Bitcoins. I think Lily Allen at one point turned down like 200 Bitcoins or something to perform a show. Or it might have been even more than that. Might have been like a couple hundred Bitcoins that they offered her to perform at a show. And she was like, no, I'm not taking Bitcoin. That's worth like $40. Today it's worth like $4 billion or something like that. All these terrible things. So I'm looking at this and I'm reading this. And last weekend, I go, I don't know, man. Maybe I should be involved in this. This seems crazy. Because at the beginning of the year, a single Bitcoin cost $700, which was ridiculous because it had come up from tenths of a cent to $700, right? That was January of 2017. Here we are in December of 2017. And last weekend, those Bitcoins were running at $10,000 a piece. $700 to $10,000. Now, I know that they say what goes up must come down, but I feel like it'll go up a whole bunch first, right? That's the thinking behind it. So I was looking at it. And I love that one guy in the chat's like, bro, we're talking about Bitcoin security. We all knew this shit in 2011, stupid. Get with it. Yeah, you're right. Everybody knew about Bitcoin in 2011. That's why it increased in value in 2017, because everybody was so smart to it and hip to it in 2011. That's true. That's true. So I go, $10,000 is too much. $10,000 is ridiculous. Obviously, by the way, I'm not buying a Bitcoin. I'm going to buy fractions of a Bitcoin. But I go, $10,000 is too much. It doesn't make any sense. It's going to go down. I'll just watch it until it goes down. Then an article comes out, I think it was either on Wednesday or Thursday, about this company, this Bitcoin mining company that was hacked, right? So the Bitcoin mining company was hacked, and they lost like, I don't know, $70 million worth of their Bitcoins. And you can't get it back. It's uninsured. It's not like a bank. It's all gone. But that's not the system being hacked. That's a company who mines for Bitcoins being hacked. The idea is that if you know what you're doing, which I do not, you don't have to go through a company. You do it yourself, and people aren't going to, whatever, you understand what I'm saying. They'll hack a company, but if you're just doing it yourself and there's ways you can do it that you're not even doing it on a computer. Somebody told me on the radio, you can just do it on paper. I still don't understand that. I got to watch more YouTube videos about it because I still don't quite get how you can do it. You can never put your Bitcoin code onto the internet, so it's totally unhackable, but you can still get them. But they're cryptocurrency. It's very, very confusing. Very, very confusing. But you go, I look at this article. It says it got hacked and blah, blah, blah. And as I'm reading the article, it says it got hacked. Bitcoins, by the way, are now worth about $17,000 each. And I go, what? $17,000? Not saying John Gloryhole says I got 900 Bitcoin. Listen, no way that anybody can call you a liar. I'm not going to ask for proof on that. You say you have 900 Bitcoins, you got 900 Bitcoins. Good for you. Good for you. And the Guardian of Chaos, Big Daddy, I appreciate the compliments on my interview with The Miz. That's also available on this YouTube channel. So I go $17,000. I thought it would never go up at $10,000. $17,000. Can you imagine how much money I would have made if I had bought a Bitcoin at $10,000? I can. $7,000. It's not that tough to imagine. It's simple arithmetic. But I got to get in then. Forget this. I thought to myself, well, there's no way. At $10,000, it's not getting any bigger. I'm going to wait till it goes down. Then I realized it got up to $17,000 on Wednesday or Thursday or whatever day it was. And I go, oh, my God. Well, I got to get in now because obviously it's only going to go up and up and up and up. And I am here to tell you that I bought 0.02 of a Bitcoin. 0.02 of a Bitcoin. And I have been watching and watching and watching. Now I got the app on my phone. So when I wake up in the morning, I check the amount. I've checked it, multiple times a day, every day since I went in. I think I've destroyed the rise of Bitcoin. I think Bad Luck Sammy and my total ignorance to what I'm doing with any of this stuff completely destroyed me. Eyes on Gaming says, how many Bitcoins does Virgil have? Virgil's got quite a few. Actually, I don't think Virgil would accept Bitcoin as payment. He only wants that cold, hard cash, baby. You can't spend Bitcoin at Olive Garden. What's he going to do with Bitcoin? Dude, I think I'm feeling single-handedly responsible for the destruction of Bitcoin. I don't know what's happened. I'm looking at it. We can look at it right now, okay? Let's look at it. I'll tell you what it is right now. It has not been at $17,000 or however much it was. It's dipped under, oh my God. It's dipped under 15 now. Now it's almost, it's 14.2, $14,200. I know you're not supposed to look at this every day, but it's only going down now. It's only going down. Sean says, by the way, people wondering what I'm looking at the left, I'm looking at the YouTube comments. Sean says, I sold my piece of Bitcoin for $40. It would have been worth $1,000. That's silly. It's silly. But it's better than just watching everything go away. I thought, and then I read an article that they said in 10 years, Bitcoin might go to $1 trillion. You know how great I'd feel even at 0.02 of a Bitcoin? Do you know how great I'd be doing if I had 0.02 of a trillion? I didn't invest anywhere near 0.02 of a trillion. And so I was thinking to myself, my God, I've got it all. I'm so smart. I figured out this entire thing. And guess what? Nothing. I've destroyed the rise. It's the only thing. It's the only thing that I can think of. Who else? Why else would this thing? And I understand that Bitcoin is volatile. I understand that if something goes from $700 to $17,000 in a matter of 11 months, that yeah, it's going to be totally volatile. It's going to be completely unstable. Not anything that you can count on. But I'm reading article after article after article about how incredible the rise of this thing is. Generally speaking, this should be the period where it's prospering. If you're reading over and over and over again that Bitcoin is just crushing, that Bitcoin is just doing everything that you could possibly want anything to do, then what do you think's going to happen? Huh? Everybody is going to want to get in on this, right? Because all the articles are coming out. The documentaries are going straight to the top of Netflix. Not Sam San Diego, Mark. Oh, hi, Mark. Says it best. Bitcoin is not green or black. No, that's why Virgil doesn't want it. But, no fuck money with Bitcoins. But, this should be the time when Bitcoin is at its utmost peak, where it's getting ridiculous numbers. But instead it's dying. Instead, it's dying a slow death. Goose Ganja says gold is real, Bitcoin is digital fakeness / gambling. Look, I know that's the criticism. And I thought to myself, Sam? That's what people are saying, but that's what the old school is saying, man. That's what the old school wants you to think. No, man, gold is where it's at. All this digital stuff is fake. Yeah, right. That's what they want you to believe. But wait till they get a load of me. Wait till they get a load of the last professional broadcaster. Huh? Wait till they realize that I know something. I have a vision of the future. Cryptocurrency. That's the new gold. And I get on my little app. Invest. Buy. And that's the other thing I'm thinking. Invest. Like I know anything that I'm talking about. It's not an investment. It's cryptocurrency. God damn it. But I go, okay, all right. Yeah, now's the time. Now's the time to get in. Because I think to myself, everybody's thinking, yeah, Sam. Yeah. It's crazy to buy this right now. Okay, yeah, right. But wait till they go, I thought it was crazy to buy at $17,000. I didn't know it was going to go to $1 trillion. And I'll go, yeah? Well, I did. And guess what happens? I end up getting screwed. Because I don't know if I got in too late. I don't know if I'm just bad luck. I don't know. But it's not good, ladies and gentlemen. It's not good. And I feel specifically responsible for what's happened. And nobody's talking about it either. Nobody, which, I mean, maybe that's something, right? Maybe that gives me some kind of hope that I'm sitting there going, okay, well, if nobody's talking about the fact that it's being destroyed, maybe that means that it's not. Maybe I'm overreacting. But I don't know. Not Sam Dapper Dan is making fun of me. He says now it's also time to get in on that AIM messenger thing. That's the other thing. Like, he's right. He's right. Bitcoin has been around forever, man. Bitcoin, it's so mainstream now. It's guys like me that think that they can get in on this, this thing that's been there forever. Everybody that actually knows about it has been on it forever. I feel like the old guy at the party that's coming in and being like, who's the newest boy band? How about these 98 Degrees fellas, huh? Pretty great. Quit playing games with my heart, right? And they're like, what are you talking about? You're coming in here like that's a brand new thing? What's wrong with you? I don't know. I'll tell you what's wrong with me. I'll tell you what's wrong. I've destroyed, and it's not even like, look, I didn't spend a ton of money on it, but I just feel like foolish. I feel ridiculous. All I want, I think I don't think I've ever felt like I got in on something early, right? I don't think I ever. AX says, "Where were you, Sam, when you first heard of Bitcoin?" I don't know. Probably on my couch like 2 weeks ago. I'm not one of these people that are well versed on these things. I just find out something's happening, and then I start getting a little bit obsessed with it. But it takes me forever. All I've ever wanted was to be first with something. All I ever wanted was to sit there and be like, "Oh man, I got to get on board now before anybody else does." I wait till they see this. All I've wanted was a vision of this is where it's going. This is what's coming next. And guess what I met with? Nothing. Yeah, we found out about this years ago. Even if I had done it a week ago, it still would have been like, oh my God, you didn't talk about this? It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. So, see, Vincent said, I thought Bitcoin was like PayPal. Most people did. But it's too late for all of us. I want to believe that since I started to wrap my head more around what it was and why it was potentially great for the future, like a couple of weeks ago, I want to believe that I'm a couple steps ahead of everybody like poor Vincent who thought that it was just like PayPal. But I'm not. What, because I figured it out 2 weeks before you did? I'm better. I should be investing? I don't think so. I don't think so at all. It's really dumb. I see some people there's like 2 people that keep saying, talk about Artie. I don't know anything about Artie Lang. I saw his photo. It didn't look good, but I guess he was tweeting and then the cops came and then he was like, oh, there's nothing wrong. And that was ridiculous. So there it goes. It's and AX says you're still early. Go all in now. I feel like that's terrible advice, AX. I think that, and that's the other thing. I think there are people around me like you, AX, that want me to fail. That think it would be funny if I just put it all in and then you watched me as I made a terrible, terrible, terrible mistake. So I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. Although part of me does look at it and go like, oh my God, look at this. Look at this. It's going down. It's going down. I should probably buy a little bit more now. All that would happen if I bought a little bit more is that it would keep going down. I'm convinced of it. I don't know why it happens this way, but it does. I can't remember one time that I was ahead of the curve on something, that I was truly ahead of the curve. I know that I can, there are things that I can jump on board with early. There are things that I can see the trend coming and like jump on board early-ish. But like I'm the guy who starts liking a band as soon as they go mainstream, right? I wish that I could have found this band right before. But I'm the guy that hears a hit single on the radio and it's already on the radio. But right before it starts to be the song that everybody hears all the time, I can do that one. Once you get to step 2, I can call it before you get to step 3. But I can never find him at step 1. I'm not the guy who can go into like a club and hear a small band playing and be like, yep, that's them. Because every opening band for any show I've ever been to, just in case the band's going to make something of themselves, I'm like, oh yeah, you got to watch out for these guys. And it never happens. It never happens. I never feel like I'm in front of it. I'm grabbing on just as it's going, right? You know what I mean? I'm Marty McFly grabbing the bumper of the car and following it on the skateboard. I'm not the guy who realized before the car was leaving that it was going to the place that I needed to go to. And that's all I want. Like some people always say, oh, I've always wanted to win a contest. I've always wanted to win this. Not me. I don't care about winning contests. I, once, want to know that I figured out early what was happening. Once. That's it. If that could happen once, then I'd be okay. But I mean, not Samsonites. That's what's happening with us, right? We figured out that this Sam Roberts thing was going somewhere before a lot of other people do. Most people still haven't figured it out, quite frankly. But we've got it going. We've got it going.